Hey guys, it's Elaine, the Ninja Life Coach, and welcome to my channel today. Today is Motivational Monday, so sit back, grab yourselves a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. How many of you all have been feeling a little bit weak lately? Weak in faith, weak spiritually, weak mentally, weak physically, just weak. And I'm talking about W-E-A-K weak, not W-E-E-K. Just because I know that some of the states in our country have not completely opened back up yet. We still have some venues that have not opened up here in Tennessee, but we're pretty wide open for most everything else. But, we don't have any concerts or any of that kind of stuff going on or anything gathering at the arenas except for, of course, football because we are SEC. But sheltering in place and being isolated due to COVID-19 or whatever other reason you may be isolating yourself, that can really take its toll on your mental health. I wanted to just leave you with this Bible verse today. It's Isaiah 26:4, and I've got it here on my phone, and I'm going to read it. It's trust in the Lord forever, for in Yah the Lord is everlasting strength. Now, that's one thing that I really love to think about, is I love to think about the everlasting, eternal aspects of God. He's not especially moved by something that happens right in the moment, okay? Because when you're dealing with a spirit being that knows the end from the beginning, one little capsule of time is probably not going to mean all that much to him. So we have to somehow find a way to look past that moment where we feel weak and where we feel inadequate and when we feel we just can't do it, to the eternal. And think about your actions and say, okay, what is the eternal consequence of what I'm doing? Is this going to have everlasting, eternal repercussions, or is this just something, an inconvenience for the moment? Now, some things are, do have more long-term consequences. Of course, the death of a loved one immediately is what springs to mind. That is going to change you on some level of your life forever. I can speak from personal experience on that. When my husband passed away, I am not the same person that I was this time 7 years ago. I am a totally different person. From my house, my car, my job, everything is totally different. My life there's nothing the same about my life. And that's okay. During this almost 7 years that Greg has been gone, I have had a plethora of emotions. I have been high, I have been low, I have been on mountaintops, I've been in valleys, I've been meh. I have been pretty much everything. I have had my moments of weakness. And it is thinking about and meditating on the eternal aspects of God and how God doesn't change. God stays the same no matter what the circumstances, no matter what we do. Now, when I say that a little moment capsule in time doesn't really mean that much to God, of course I don't mean that he's not touched by what we're going through, because he is, and he wants us to bring that to him. But we have to look past that, and we have to look past our momentary inconvenience, okay, to what's going to be, okay, what's going to come up next week? What's going to come up next month? What's next year going to look like? What's the next 5 years going to look like? Now, I'm not saying we need to have everything planned out to the, minutia degree, because we can't do that. But we need to have a long-term plan about where am I going to be in 5 years from now. And that's about as far as I ever tell anybody to look ahead, because it can change day to day. But if you have a goal and you're working steadily towards that goal, you should be able to somewhat achieve that goal in the next 5 years. So if you're feeling weak today, that doesn't mean that you're going to feel weak tomorrow. And that doesn't mean you have to remain in that weakness. Because if you lean on the Lord and trust in him and lean on his everlasting strength, you can make it through those moments when you feel weak and when you feel like you just can't put one foot in front of the other. And folks, I have those days too. I have those weeks when I'm just like, I am just not feeling it right now. I am just, no, Lord, this is not going to work. But if you just hunker down and say, okay, I'm serious about this thing. We are not moving until I get some resolution to this. Then God will meet you right where you're at, and He will deliver you out of that weakness, and He will be your strength. The Bible also instructs us that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So if you're feeling weak, try to find things in your life that give you joy. Whenever I get down or depressed, I think about my grandchildren. And I realize what a blessing that they are from God. And they truly, truly are. And that is one way that I can always, when I'm feeling weak and I feel like I just can't go another step, I'll think about my grandchildren and how I need to go another step for them, and how I need to be here for them if they need me. And, and how I need to have how we need to have that contact between the generations. And I think about things like that, and I think about, okay, what can I do for them that is an eternal consequence that is going to help them later on down the road. And when I think about my grandchildren, I've got a close relationship with my grandchildren and with my daughter and my grandchildren. And when I think down the road, my thinking down the road always includes my family. Now, I realize not everyone is fortunate enough to have that type of relationship with their family, but find something that you can focus on to give you a good view of what's down the road. Turn all that other stuff over to God, whatever it is that makes you feel weak, whatever it is. Turn it over to God and lean on His everlasting strength. And you'll be glad, you'll be happy that you did. Listen, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you all. I'll drop a link in the description box to all my stuff. Maranatha, folks.